Welcome to my channel. My name is Bethany and this is actually only my second video, and today I'm going to be doing another Sims 4 speed build. So if you're interested, I have done one more previous to this where I rebuilt an entire dormitory of Foxbury Institute in The Sims 4, obviously. And today I'm going to be doing townhouses in the town of Britechester. They are intended for as if university students are living in them. I actually forgot to record most of the exterior of this build. However, there wasn't much to it. I started with the base of the EA build of the plot that I believe is called Honeydew Fields or something of that sort, and I basically just extended it out to rather than having the one townhouse to be able to incorporate two, because I found it just looked kind of odd having that one townhouse that didn't really make any sense. Like, it looked like it was just cut from a string of houses of how they would be in real life. So I decided to extend it out to incorporate two. And so my thought process with it would be that you would live with your sim as well as some roommates, as that was a new feature included in Discover University. And that's at least how I'm playing with it. I am actually living with my current sim in this build. She is a student at Foxbury. She's taking psychology and she's going to go into the military career, because I actually just finished recently playing the Strangerville pack, and so when I was exploring all that pack, I put her into the military. And so once I finished the story, I decided to just continue her with that career. And I noticed you could get a buff in the career by doing the military, I guess, psychology course at Foxbury. You can technically do it at Britechester as well, but it's I guess, like an esteemed degree. I'm not sure if that's what it's called, but it's something of the sort. So something else that I feature throughout the pack is the movie hangout night, or movie night hangout, movie hangout. I don't know. You know what I'm talking about, the one about the movies. But I had recently got it when I did this build, and I absolutely fell in love with it. If you continue watching my videos after this, you will see that it is very prevalent in a lot of my builds. I love all the colors. The patterns are beautiful. The boho themes are just absolutely gorgeous, and so I this build specifically, I purposefully try to incorporate as much from it as I can. I think I include every item from the pack. I could be wrong, but I think so. The only thing I can think of that's not included is like the giant TV, just because like it just felt really out of place in because like the living areas do end up fairly small, and so it would be really weird to just have this massive TV. Just wouldn't make any sense. But other than that, I think I include every item, but again, I could be wrong. And in future builds, I use the dining table of it all the time. I love, like, they in future Sims packs, I would love if they included more tables with tablecloths on them. I think they're super cute. And I don't think I'm the only one uh, with that thought process on it. But yeah, and the patterns are all gorgeous. I wish that they were more adversive. Again, I'm not sure if that's the word, but like you could kind of combine them and have just a whole bunch of kind of like with different patterns, but they still go, versus like the ones that they chose. I love them and they're beautiful, but you can't, it's really hard to combine them. Like in future builds, I have managed to do it a little bit, varies in like an item or two, to have like two different patterns that have like a couple of the same colors. But for the most part, if you have one item that's of a certain pattern of the pack, it's really hard to then just go to a different pattern of the pack. Like, you kind of have to go with that, and then you end up with a whole bunch of items that are so matchy matchy, and it's just not realistic. But because who just buys all of that all at once? I know I wouldn't, but I don't know your life, but yeah. Anyway, so again, my thought process with this pack is that kind of on no, the idea is that their furniture is a combination of older things that maybe they were given by family members, or maybe they bought at like a flea market or something of that sort, as well as a combination of like brand new items that are more modern. And so in both houses, I do try to incorporate that. And I love how I say try to incorporate. That's definitely my style, like a combination of like boho, antique things with character versus like to also like combine that with a bit of modern flair as well, because I think that's pretty much sums up how I like my own things, as well as like how I like to build. And I think you'll definitely notice that I love more than just a pop of color. Another thing that I would like to add is that this build and all of my builds are done entirely on console. I play exclusively on PS4. I know most simmers on YouTube play on PC, and I totally get that. But the console version of The Sims, I am so impressed with. I had played previous console versions way back when with the original Xbox, and I was not impressed. Although who didn't love The Sims Herbs, but it was no classic Sims. But this version of The Sims on console is, I love it. I don't feel as if I'm missing out on anything by playing it on console versus PC, which is definitely how I felt when I had The Sims on the original Xbox, like a million years ago. And I think I also had it on Game Boy Advance, which was kind of weird. It was like a story version of the game. Like I remember you started out on a farm. I don't know if you ever advanced on the farm. I know I didn't. I know there like you'd go to like a town and meet lots of people, but I also kind of had a short attention span when it came to games. I would just restart them from the beginning all the time. I don't know. Didn't have much of an attention span when I was a kid. Still a little bit lacking sometimes, but yes, in terms of like The Sims now, though, I've never stuck to it as much as I do now. Like, I played all of the Sims versions except Sims 2, which kind of sucks because I've heard nothing but the greatness of Sims 2. But it came at bad timing in my life. So when Sims 1 came out, we had gotten it. My sister was really big into it, and so I played it as well. And then my sister had gone to university and like basically got us all banned from it because she didn't do her homework and all kinds. I don't know. It was a whole mess, and so we weren't allowed to play The Sims for a while. But then yeah. So when I became an adult and I actually went on to university, I bought The Sims 3 on my own, and I played the shit out of it. Not sure if I'm allowed to say that word. I'm sure I'm gonna get like 2 viewers, so it doesn't really matter. But yeah, but I would always I played for like probably like 72 hours, obviously not technically straight, but it would feel straight, like I'd get like a couple hours sleep and then play again. Like I would be obsessed over it. And then I get bored of it, and then a couple months go by and get back into it. Um, and Sims, I don't know, Sims 3, I love it. I miss the open world concept. However, Island Paradise was the Sims 3 version. That let me down hard. All I wanted in the world was to be a mermaid, and they just dangled it in front of me, and the game would not work on my computer no matter how hard I tried, and it was the biggest disappointment of life. I'm not even kidding. It was so sad, and so I gave up on The Sims for a long, long time. And so I think about a year ago, I bought Sims 4 on console. My boyfriend and I both bought it, and we decided to like have a competition as to who could platinum it first. Because on PS4, there's a trophy system, all these different platinums, and like I believe the longest one is going to be get to 26 generations and like all these little things you get trophies for, and then getting all the trophies, you then get a platinum. And yeah, so we tried to do that with lots of games. But yeah, so that's really what got me back into it, and I've been playing basically like very consistently ever since, even though I haven't actually played the game in probably like a few weeks. I've just been focusing on building a lot, and it's so weird for me because in Sims 3 I never built, and going into Sims 4 I didn't expect to build. But yeah, I started watching all these videos on YouTube, and they just really inspired me, as well as like really taught me how to do it. And I just became fascinated with it, and now it's so much fun, and I'm building all the time. And I actually have a massive backlog of builds that I've recorded, and I just haven't gotten around to do like the voiceover part of or the editing of them. Uh, and so yeah, so I have like this massive backlog. I think my next one is going to be a Mediterranean build, and I'm so excited to show you all two people, if that. Um, that I'm just really excited about. I had a lot of fun doing it, and I enjoy making these videos. So yeah. And so with this build, the one half of the house is definitely directed to more of like artsy, boho inspired students. It's definitely the side of the house that I would like to live in versus the other side of the house I tried to do for more of like a technical side, like maybe business students or like robotics or something, or engineering or something like that. And so it's a little more t- cliche masculine, for lack of better terminology, versus like the other side that has much more creative and artsy and boho and wonderful. I feel like I'm super late to the Sims 4 game, uh, or world. Like I know it was out for years before I even started playing it. I did actually originally buy it on PC right when it first came out, and I was hardcore disappointed with it. Just without the open world, that was such a deal breaker for me. I loved that about Sims 3. The only thing that I love loved at the time about Sims 4 was that it didn't crash on my computer, and that was wonderful because Sims 3 was a headache and a half, and the Sims 4 and the Creative Sim, of course, was always wonderful. Um, but yeah, so the first, and I bought on a sorry PC when it first came out. I had bought Get Together and Get to Work, the first couple packs that had come out, and again, just I was really disappointed with them, and so I kind of just gave up on Sims 4. And then so years later on console, I'm now trying to buy them all the packs. I would say I have most of them, or at least a large portion. The next pack on my list is definitely Island Living, and mostly so I can be a mermaid on it, and build like beach style homes. I do a lot of like my summery themed style homes in Oasis Springs, although you don't quite have all the necessities that you need to build that kind of home. I also need Jungle Adventure. That's another pack that I really really want. Other than that, like I think I have like all the packs that I'm like hardcore interested in. I'm really excited for Nifty Knitting. I think that's what they settled on the name being. Every time they release any information about that, I get more excited about it, and I think that's so strange because like knitting, it's not something that I would find myself interested in typically. I did a bit of knitting when I was a kid. My mom tried to teach me. I think I was into it for a few weeks, but that's the extent of my knowledge on it and or interest in it. And so when I had first heard about that being the pack, I was like, what? why do people vote for that? But once I started seeing the stuff that was released about it, yeah, I'm down. It sounds really cool. I want my Sims to be able to wear the things that they knit and pets to wear the things that I knit. I cat in a knitted sweater. Can you imagine? The cutest thing in the entire world. I am down for it, and I'm here for it. And rocking chairs and hopefully clothes that better suit elders. I know when elders in my game, I kind of just move them out the second they age up. Just they've lost all their purpose, and I would love for them to not have lost their purpose. Like I think that's kind of messed up when thinking about it. But yeah, I don't know. I think it's gonna be the fact that I am actually like kind of down with in a certain way. So eco lifestyle, I was the biggest hater of it, and still like I'm like, why does anybody want this? But the build items are so cute, and so if it goes on, I'm sure it will go on sale eventually, and so that's what I'm gonna get. That another pack that I have to get is on console. I have to get to work. I've been really hesitant on getting it because I had it on PC before, and so I've kind of played with it, but like I wasn't super into it, so I haven't done it all, but like I've explored it a little bit, and I know I'm not that into the create a sim or build mode items, so that's also holding me back because building is my favorite thing to do now, and so if I'm not into the items, why would I be that like dead set on buying it? But yeah, I buy all the packs on sale. I don't think I've ever bought like there's none that's coming to mind currently that I haven't bought on sale. It's possible, like maybe a step pack if I really wanted it, but I don't think I have. I have bad memory though, so don't hold me to it. But yeah, my goal is to have all of them at some point. I hate downloading things from the gallery and then like having them like if like because like certain items if they can't replace them they'll just like be gone from the build or the create a sim. Like the amount of sims I've downloaded that just end up bald or like with no pants on because I don't have the pack with whatever item that's from. It's so frustrating. And I know in the console gallery they don't include the CC stuff anyways, and so I know it's definitely not like a CC issue. And so it's just me not being a cheap ass and not buying all the packs. Although I cannot be called a cheap ass because can you imagine? Like, all right, total up all the prices of these packs. They're expensive. Although not nearly as expensive if you were to buy like a whole F ton of stuff from like the Sims 3 store where you bought like I would pay like $10 into like Sims points or I don't know what they're called. This is a long time ago, obviously. But and you get to like go like shopping for some items and stuff, but like was it ever worth it? Put that money into a stuff pack that is worth it. Like not eco living, sorry, tiny living. That's a dope stuff pack. Movie hangout, dope stuff pack. I much prefer that system over having the online store, which is endless amount of stuff. You can never get it all. I'm a completionist. I like to have it all. When I watch a TV show, I need to start from the very first episode. I can't just start part way through. I need to see. What I really like about this build it was that I incorporated those like slanted windows that you got with Discovery University. I think they're kind of odd, but and also like kind of hard to use because like they're not very typical. And so I was really happy that I got to incorporate it into this build, and I think I made them fit in fairly well. I also like I try to include as many skill activities as I can in a build. Sometimes I forget, but I want my builds to be as playable as possible, and like obviously with like as a console gamer, I everything is completely CC free, so you don't have to worry about anything of that. Also, you never have to worry about any like turning on like cheats like build objects mode or whatever. Like I don't even know what it is because I don't use it. I never use any of that because like I don't want it to affect getting trophies because on console sometimes that certain most cheats I think affect trophies. I think certain ones you can use, but like I've just become accustomed to not using any that I'm probably not going to start using any even if they don't affect the trophy list. And so yeah, so like the builds that I make are completely accessible to anyone who has the same game packs and stuff that I have. I know, like, the current builds that I have used every pack basically that I own. In the future, I would be interested in doing packs, builds that focus on certain packs for people who don't have every pack, because like it's really not necessary. Like for a long time, I only had base game, and it's super satisfying. Like it's a dope base game. Um, but yeah, so like you don't need every expansion pack. I like to have it. I want to know all my options for the game, and like the amount of hours that I put into this. Like, why would I not want to like add more stuff to it just to like keep it fresh every like once in a while? Like every time it like starts to get a little bored, just like, okay, just buy stuff back. It really freshens it up and stuff. And like each thing adds a lot to it. So like, but at the same time, don't buy anything that like you're not interested in. Like I would never buy Eco Living on like a full price, and even vampires on sale. Like it's just that I'm not really interested in vampires because like my main drawback with vampires is that they don't die. Like, and that sounds really messed up. But I like my favorite thing to do with Sims is to play for like long generations at a time and like keep moving on, keeping it fresh, and like I don't know why I had to do a dance to that or whatever that was, but with vampires you're just stuck with the same sim forever, and like if you want to just keep starting a new sim like every once in a bit, like you get bored, you start a new sim, like dope, like do that. But for me, I like to like, have them have babies and like have those babies grow up, and then I move on to the next generation, and the elders die. That's my preferred form of gameplay. And so vampires is not on. That's another pack that I don't have. That's not on my high up to get list, to buy list. But yeah, just finishing up the kitchen dining room area of the second townhouse. I do switch around the kitchen because I did, in hindsight, find that it made a little more sense to have it switched around because without the windows there, it just enabled me to have cabinets, and I think that's pretty like integral to a kitchen. Like, have you ever seen a kitchen without cabinets? But I didn't go back to switch it around in the first one because I did like the first one a lot. I feel like I don't know. I thought it was a cute kitchen, even though it didn't end up having cabinets. I know that's a little unrealistic, but I still thought it was cute, so I didn't end up switching that around. Work on the bedrooms of the second townhouse. I did try to make them a little more different than the first two bedrooms on the other townhouse. I did try to make them a little more just going along with the theme of the second townhouse of just being more like mm, like definitely like they're the more like business students, like I don't know. But like the houses in general, like they're older and so they're rented by students, but like filled in with like this kind of like younger vibe furniture and stuff, but they certainly are an older house, and I feel like I accomplished that with this build. Like I feel like you would see these kind of houses in a university town, and maybe not quite so clean or a little less stylish with like more like more of a budget in real life, and like definitely more messy. Yeah. I don't think they're that far off from what you would really see as a university or college student. So no time is a better time than now than introducing my other half, who is yelling at me. But this is Benji. Sorry. Here. Say hello, Ben. He is my plump little boy. Odd descriptive words, I know. But he's the sweetest boy in the whole world, and he is now sat in my lap because he decided it is attention time. and not Sims 4 time, but Benji time, as is most time when I'm home. But yeah, say hello. Every time I bring him up, it's like like I'm like torturing this cat, like bringing him on screen, but like he's literally in my lap, purring up a storm, meowing, and like, hey, I'm here, girl. So I should just be finishing up this last bedroom of the build. I know I said that this side of the townhouse is for more like businessy type students. However, I believe I do end up putting the keyboard into the one bedroom. But I still feel like that makes sense. Like multifaceted Sims should exist just as much as multifaceted people. And a business student should be able to play the goddamn keyboard if that's what they feel like doing. Anyways, this video should be finishing up any second now. And please like and subscribe if you would like to. And that would be very much appreciated. And I guess like a notification bell. I've never rang the bell for anyone in my life, so I feel weird asking anyone to ring it for me. But if you want to, do it. If not, don't. Anyways, have a good one. Stay safe. Bye.